Hey class, welcome back to chapter 4 in financial arithmetic. Today we are looking at the second part of percentages and applications, shares and dividends. So if you would like more information about shares and dividends in general, what they are, how they work, you are welcome to do your own research. I would suggest reading page 169 of your textbook. It's a really good place to start, and they give a really basic explanation of what shares and dividends are, but today I will work through just the mathematics. So when we're looking at shares and dividends, we have what's called a price to earnings ratio. That ratio tells us the company's share price. So that's the cost to you, how much you would pay to purchase shares in that company, versus its relative value, which is your earnings or profit. In general, low price to earnings ratios or PE ratios are better for you as the investor because it means that you are paying less for each dollar of profit. It means that there is a lot less risk associated with purchasing those particular shares because you are more than guaranteed to be earning some amount of profit. Higher price to earnings ratios, on the other hand, could mean that a company's stock is overvalued, or that company predicts that they're going to be earning a greater profit over time for those shares. So there is a lot more risk involved. Of course, if that company is not going to make the kind of profit that they project, then you are not going to make as much from those shares as what you are paying for them. So on the screen in the box, there is a quick little formula. The price to earnings ratio, well, the current share price, which is price over the profit or your earnings. Price to earnings, okay? Ratios and fractions have a lot in common, and that's all there really is to calculating those. However, in practice, a company that makes profit is not going to give you every single cent of their profit from your shares. They will instead pay you dividends, which are typically a percentage amount of that profit per share. The new formula that's just popped up on the screen, the dividend yield, so that is the amount of money that you actually see from your shares, is given by the dividend times 100 over the current share price, and that is as a percentage, Again, I will go through all of these in a moment. So we'll begin with an example. Suppose company A's shares have a market value of $10 and a profit per share value of 50 cents, so price to earnings. Company B's shares have a market value of $20 and a profit per share of $2. So again, price, earnings. Which shares are the better investment? So to make that decision, we need to consider the price to earnings ratio of both companies. So for company A, price to earnings ratio equals, and I probably shouldn't put an equals there. The price to earnings ratio is given by $10, which is the price of the share, over 50 cents or 0.5. So the price to earnings ratio as a number is just 20. For company B, the price to earnings ratio is $20 is the price over $2 is the share, so 10. Up here, we made a note that the lower price to earnings ratios are better for investors. So the better investment is company B. Okay, because it has the lower price to earnings ratio. Every time I go to write the word ratio, I accidentally write ration, and I don't know why. Okay, and so is the better investment. In general, when we have a worded problem, we tend to like to write our answer in words. That's what this here is, okay? If, however, you buy 500 shares in the better investment, which is company B, apologies, I've slightly written over the example in advance, but oh well, and that company declares a dividend of $1.10 per share, how much do you receive in total dividends and what is the dividend yield? So the total dividends, which there is no formula on the screen, but I will walk you through it. The total dividends equals the number of shares. So we bought 500 shares multiplied by the the dividend per share. So that's this number here. So we need to multiply the two numbers provided. And what we get is $550. So that is your payout. That's how much money you actually see. The dividend yield is the second part to the question, dividend yield, which we have got a formula right here for. Okay, dividend yield equals the dividend price, or the dividend amount, which is $1.10, multiplied by 100, and then we divide all of that by the current share price. And the current share price, which is the, again, price in the price to earnings component, is 20. And that gives us a total value of 5.5%. So what that means is that you are going to make back 5.5% in your first dividend payout of what you spent on those shares. Okay, so that is the mathematics step by step. If again you would like to do more research on shares, stocks, and investments, I would strongly recommend it. It is really, really interesting stuff. It can get a little bit dry and boring, but it is super useful having your money work for you. But here is just the maths for what you do need to know for questions 16, 17, 18, and 19 of exercise 4A. Take it step by step, follow this working out, and as always, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, good luck with the work.